Ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. It's our 2018 Old Town Grille High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight, we're back in Cumberland Gap, Tennessee for 2018 homecoming as the Cumberland Gap Panthers play host to the Jellico Blue Devils. Both these teams need a victory, not for the region and not for playoffs, but for confidence as they work their way back into regional play and work their way to the November months and the postseason. Who walks out the winner? Stay tuned to find out. It's the Jellico Blue Devils. It's the Cumberland Gap Panthers. It's homecoming 2018. It's our Old Town Grille Game of the Week, and it's next. As we get the opening whistle, Ramsey looks left to right. Stutter steps, comes forward in motion. Toe meets leather, and we are underway on a squib kick that will scamper out of bounds on the near sideline at around the 28-yard line. We'll see if Jellico wants the ball at the 35 or if they want a re-kick. As right off the bat, we will get a penalty against the Panthers. And I believe they're just going to take the ball at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, I think that'd be a wise choice there for the Blue Devils. We talk about Drew Ramsey, how he was the hero for Cumberland Gap 2 weeks ago in the overtime victory against Pineville. Again, after missing the first PAT there 2 weeks ago, hadn't attempted another one until that overtime kick that was no doubt there to give the Panthers the victory. But nonetheless, starting off tonight with a penalty, they had a plethora of those 2 weeks ago, if you recall.
Ball's actually spotted at the 40-yard line. Although I'm not real sure, even the chains thought it was at the 35. And they're going to put it at the 40. And it's going to be a K Meadow first down and 10 for the Blue Devils. They're going to run a spread formation. They'll have two receivers off to either side. Shotgun formation with the back to the right side. Looking at 4 down linemen. It's going to be a handoff, and the running back actually falls down at the 36-yard line. Your starting quarterback.
I believe it was Branham, number 13.
Bryson Branham, 13, was the starter.
And it was Noah Albertini, a senior running back for Jellico, that was intended to take the handoff there, although there was some confusion and a little bit of a bobble in the backfield. So beginning the matchup with a little bit of a miscue in the backfield on the run call, but nonetheless keeping possession.
Second down, let's call it 14. Two receivers again off to either side, back to the right side of the quarterback. In the gun, dropping, rolling off to the right side, looking, wanting to throw, running out of real estate, throws it. It's going to be almost intercepted, incomplete. Late flag on the play, as your quarterback is going to be Bryson Branham, number 13. But it's going to be personal foul, roughing the passer against the Panthers off the incompletion.
Got to stay disciplined if you're the Cumberland Gap defense. I think that we had too many penalties to count 2 weeks ago against Pineville. It was a lot, most I've seen in a long time. And there you bail out Jellico a little bit as Branham again rolls to the near side and fires off an incomplete pass and a near interception from Miles Cole if he would have kept those toes in bounds. But nonetheless, you hand Jellico an automatic first down due to the roughing the passer penalty.
Ball now in Cumberland Gap territory. It's at the Panther 49-yard line. And it is a Meadow first down and 10 for the Blue Devils. We seemed a little confused, I guess, a little bit that Branham was the starting quarterback. He's listed as a wide receiver defensive back, so they don't go with any of the quarterbacks on our roster. Two receivers off to either side, back to the left side for the Blue Devils to stand in the gun once again. Branham is going to hand it off, coming to the near sideline and trying to find his way back to the line of scrimmage, and not doing so is the running back. And was that Albertini again? It is, yes, number 22, Noah Albertini, the senior.
And Albertini was met by a host of Panthers in the backfield. Thus far, the ground game for Jellico has not paid off through 2 plays. And with a lineup, lining up in the shotgun with one back to the side of Branham and lining up on that occasion with 4 wide receivers, you've got to anticipate the Blue Devils may start to throw the ball on a regular basis here with the ground game not being as present so far in the opening drive.
Second down, 15. Ball at the 46-yard line back in Jellico territory.
4
ball
receivers.
Ball near hash mark. 2 receivers to either side.
Yep, 4 receivers again.
Shotgun once again for Branham. High snap over his head. He's got to pick it up. He does so at the 32-yard line. Rolls off right side, throws it, and it's complete. Gets it off into the hands of Jeremy Ivy. And Ivy gets no gain. Back to the 46-yard line.
Well, nonetheless, even though the play doesn't go for any kind of yardage, it was good awareness by Branham as the snap was way over his head, but he was somehow able to find Ivy as he was racing to the out-of-bounds marker, was able to corral the catch. But again, all that effort for no gain at the end of the play.
First third down of the contest for the Blue Devils. Third down 15. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. Again, ball still in the near hash mark as Branham has it back to his right side. Better snap this time. Dropping, steps up, throws it. It's going to be a jump ball, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to get it again to Ivy, and it's going to be incomplete as the pass sails out of bounds.
Good coverage by Cumberland Gap's Miles Cole, the senior defensive back who was stride for stride with Ivy and forced Ivy into an unfavorable position, kind of getting his way to try and make the pick if that ball hadn't have sailed out of bounds. So a good defensive stand for Cumberland Gap minus the roughing the passer penalty, and now it looks like they'll get the ball.
Fourth down 15. They'll come in for the Blue Devils. They'll be punting. Cumberland Gap's only got one deep back at his 35-yard line. Not really showing a whole lot of respect to the punter. Snap is a decent one. Kick is going to be squibbed. It's hit and picked up by Cumberland Gap at the 35 to the 30, to the 25 to the 20. 15, 10, 5 into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap on a punt that actually... That is Brady Pearman just picks the ball up. The punt was dribbled around the ground. He saw the ball, picks it up, runs about 38 yards, and he's in the end zone.
I think that the ball first hit a Cumberland Gap player's ankle, if I'm not mistaken. It definitely, if it didn't hit a Cumberland Gap player, it hit a Jellico player. But nonetheless, Brady Pearman was in the right place at the right time to scoop up the mistaked, that's not a word, the miscue on the punt, I should say, and was able to have nothing but green in front of him and races into the end zone for the Panthers' first score tonight.
They'll attempt the extra point. On for the attempt will be Ramsey. Snap down, the attempt is up. Ramsey's attempt is good. Time out of the field. 10-15 left to go, first quarter. Our new score, it is Cumberland Gap 7. It is Jellico, nothing.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
And less than 2 minutes into this contest, the Panthers are up 7-0.
Special teams are such a vital part of the football game at whatever level that you have. And again, Jellico not being able to execute on the botched punt that Pearman gladly picks up and scampers into the end zone.
Ramsey will kick this one off better high and an over kick. That will, again, go out of bounds, this time about the 9-yard line. So it's like he's kicking it from the near hash mark, and it's going out of bounds over here on the near sideline. You kind of wonder if he would scoot out a little bit, if it would stay in range, or if they're directionally trying to kick it that way.
Jellico's Jordan King made a judgment call not to go for that football, and it seemed as it may bounce into the end zone at the last moment, but nonetheless does go out of bounds for the second consecutive time.
So the Blue Devils once again will start with the ball at their 40-yard line. It'll be their second offensive possession. They got one first down on that first drive. Their huddle's 20 yards off here. They got one first down on that opening drive due to penalty. And they'll see here what they can do. They've tried to put the ball in the air. Still waiting for them to complete that first pass for yardage. On a K&K Metal first down, 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 2 backs this time around Branham in the gun. Branham hands off, coming to the near sideline, trying to find a hole. And getting back to the 39-yard line again is Albertini.
It was either Albertini or Keaton Jones who was going to get the carry for Jellico there on first down. Jones, who lined up in the backfield as well, being a senior running back who I believe was the punter there a few moments ago for the Blue Devils. But again, that's 3 unsuccessful runs now for the visitors, so credit to Cumberland Gap's defensive line to penetrate and to get in the backfield.
3 runs for Jellico, 3 negative plays. They've rushed 3 times, all of them by Albertini for negative 10 yards. It'll be second down and 11. Ball still in the near hash mark. Again, Cumberland Gap leads this one 7-0. They're going to work some players around. They're going to go with a bunch formation with a receiver to the left side, as it will be a full house backfield behind the quarterback. Handoff coming to the near sideline to the 40 and getting some positive yards out to about the 43, 44-yard line is Jellico. As on the run once again was no Albertini.
Albertini with another carry, this time for positive yardage for Jellico. You know, when you speak of Cumberland Gap's defense, we talk about that they've been very consistent so far for Coach Klein. Again, they dominated Hancock County early on in Week 2, and again in Week 1 only allowed 13 points from Union County, so they have been proven on the season.
Ball in the near hash mark, 3rd down and 6. One receiver again to the left side, 3 backs behind Branham, who's in under the center. Pitch out behind him. This is Albertini lowering the head. He'll get past the 45 to about the 46-yard line, but it will bring up 4th down.
Interesting play call from Coach Massengale and Jellico to line up under center for, I believe, was the first time this evening. The second time, you are correct, with a toss out to Albertini. Maybe 4-down territory here for the Blue Devils, as you don't have as much yardage to go to try and get the sticks as it was on 4th and 15 the last drive, especially considering how disastrous of a punt attempt that we saw the last 4th down.
This will be 4th down and 3. And I thought they may go for it, but it looks like they've changed their mind at the last second, and they're going to go into punt formation. Last one did not work out well for them. Let's see if this one works any better. On 4th down and 3, one receiver to either side as the punter directing traffic. Snap, good. Kick, not good. And it's going to be picked up at the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's in the end zone again. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. Touchdown, Brady Pierman.
Again.
This time, again, the punt not taken well off the toe. Pierman picks it up around the 45-yard line and scampers down the field, and he's in the end zone again.
Yeah, I think that Brady Pierman's going to stay on the field for the special teams plays, not only tonight, but for the remainder of the season. Again, just being in the right place at the right time. Another botched Blue Devils punt that ends up in Cumberland Gap's favor, and once he picks it up, Nothing McGreen in front of him and a convoy of blockers to help him out to get the punter out of the picture, and Pierman with his 2nd score of the day already.
On for the attempt will be Ramsey. And Jellico will jump. And I believe it was either Ward or Ivy on the far side, about 3 yards into the backfield. And it looks like Cumberland Gap will decline the penalty and once again will attempt to have this extra point.
Yeah, just a little bit too early on the offsides penalty against Jellico, and we will retry the PAT.
So again, it will be Ramsey to have the attempt. There's the snap. It's high. It's down. Ramsey's attempt is up, and Ramsey's attempt is good. Timeout of the field. 7:36 left to go. First quarter. Our new score. It is Cumberland Gap 14. It is Jellico nothing.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
So 7:36 left to go here inside of the first quarter. Cumberland Gap leads this one 14-0. Both touchdowns coming off punts that never reached the line of scrimmage, stayed on the ground both times. It was the senior Brady Pearman picking the ball up and running into the end zone. Both of them roughly around 40 yards, and even with that Cumberland Gap's offense on the field, they're up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, you love that for Coach Klein and Cumberland Gap. You've got 2 scores, and your offense is yet to hit the field. Kind of reminiscent of Johnson County last week playing against Claiborne when they had 1 touchdown over the first quarter, but only had 1 play on offense.
If there's one downfall you would like to have, or that you would not like to have, I guess you would say, it's that is the 3rd consecutive kick out of bounds for Cumberland Gap. And once again, Jellico will start with the ball at the 40-yard line. Our officials tonight are out of the Knoxville Football Officials Association. Your referee is Bill Cox. Your umpire is Gary Messer. Your line judge, Mike Slaughter. Head linesman, Bill Fogarty. Back judge is Paul Romero. And your clock operator is James Day. So once again, Jellico will start the drive at their own 40 with a K&K Metal 1st down and 10. 1 first down so far on the contest, and they come off a roughing the passer penalty on the opening drive. This time they'll start their possession with 1 receiver to the left side. Again, they're going to go with a full house backfield, 3 backs, strong to the far side. Handoff up the middle, and again, this is Albertini, and he'll get some positive yardage out past the 40, near the 42, 43-yard line.
I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was Tyler Raines for Cumberland Gap who was the first one there to make the stop, a senior running back / linebacker for the Gap to force a minimal gain. So, again, the run defense still holding strong for the Panthers early on in the first.
It was a gain of 2, 2nd down and 8 now upcoming here for the Blue Devils. Again, 1 receiver split to the left side. 3 backs in the backfield. The deep back is Albertini. Handoff to the fullback up the middle. Flag on the play over here on the near sideline. I believe we're just going to get a sideline warning on this one. Not real sure, as the running back was...
I think it was...
Was that 34?
33, I believe, which we don't have a number for on our roster.
Actually, it was 24. It's 24. Stephen Bird. And it'll bring up another 3rd down upcoming here for Jellico. It'll be 3rd down and 6. They are 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far. Again, 1 receiver to the far side. 3 backs behind the quarterback. He'll hand off to the fullback again. No, he's going to keep it himself. He's going to get taken down for a sack. The quarterback again being Bryson Branham. Branham is taken back to the 42-yard line for no gain. And bring up 4th down.
Once again, met by Taylor Raines of Cumberland Gap, not biting on the QB fake to the far side and wrestling down Branham to the turf. And now it's the danger zone, if you will, here for Jellico, forced to punt the ball once more.
4th down and 8 upcoming here for Jellico.
Keep your eye on Brady Pearman here.
I would double him. Punter is at his 31-yard line. Got to get a good punt off here if you're Jellico. Got to make Cumberland Gap's offense get on the field. Waiting. Still waiting. There's the snap. Punt is up into the air this time. Short. And Cumberland Gap will let this one bounce. It'll be taken by Jellico, or down by Jellico, at the Panther 38-yard line. And for the first time this evening, we will see Cumberland Gap's offense on the field.
And they will have good field position thanks to the nice defensive stand on the previous drive. So now we'll see Caden Brunsma and company for Cumberland Gap. And it's a very nice feeling, I would assume, with the offense on the field already up by 2 scores. Kind of gets the quarterback at ease a little bit, I would think.
Brunsma, the junior, trotting on. Ball's on the far hash mark at the Cumberland Gap 38-yard line. They'll send 1 receiver to the left side. They'll send 2 to the right. Shotgun formation for Brunsma, back to either side. High snap. Brunsma still got to get on this one. He falls on it, and that's going to be a loss back to the 31-yard line, a loss of 7.
Well, whatever the intended play call was for Cumberland Gap, it was never able to get going, as it looked like Brunsma had corralled the high snap, but again, just couldn't keep possession of the football for long, but he was able to fall on top of it before the Jellico defensive lineman was there.
2nd down, 17 now upcoming for Cumberland Gap. Ball again at the Panther 31-yard line on the far hash mark. They're going to send 2 receivers to the left side. 1 to the right. 2 backs with Brunsma in the gun. Brunsma, option, pitches out to the near sideline, coming this way to the 30, getting the block. Stutter stepping to the 35, trying to work his way to the 40, and getting taken down near the 41-yard line is Cumberland Gap. On for the run was 18, Miles Cole.
Yeah, I think you're right. Miles Cole with the carry on the pitch from Brunsma. Logan Miracle laid a big-time block as he was able to get out in space, and that sets up a little bit more third down and manageable for Cumberland Gap, getting past the line of scrimmage this time after the bobbled snap on play number 1.
Third down. Let's call it 7 yards to go. Ball the near hash mark. One receiver to the left side. Cumberland Gap's going to split 3 out to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Hands it back behind him. Looking at 4 down linemen. Brunsma. Fumble, and Jellico's got this one off the fumbled handoff. The Blue Devils will take over at the Panther 38-yard line.
Zach Albertini for Jellico, the one recovering the football. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say that the Albertinis for Jellico are related. It's not. I think that's the first time I've come in contact with that last name before, but nonetheless, senior offensive lineman and linebacker who was in the right place at the right time to fall on top of the loose ball. I think it was Miles Cole who bobbled the handoff in the backfield, and that's Cumberland Gap's first turnover of the night, and without a doubt, obviously Jellico's best field position thus far.
Just a second snap they'll have on the positive side of the 50. This time they're at the Cumberland Gap 38-yard line with a K and came out on first down and 10 with 4:09 left to go first quarter. Panthers lead the Blue Devils 14-0. One receiver split to the right side. Quarterback will go under the center, 3 backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff to the near sideline of the 40 and bring the ball past the 40 near the 37-yard line. On the run again was Albertini, that one being Noah.
As this matchup progresses, it seems that it will be a heavy dose of number 22, that being Noah Albertini, the senior. Looks like he's Jellico's primary weapon on the offensive side of the field, but we'll see. I know that we've not had a lot of passing success if you're the Blue Devils thus far, but it seems that they may try to utilize some short passes as the game moves on, trying to keep those defensive backs honest.
No gain on the run on first down, sets up second down and 10. They'll split Jordan King out to the left side. 3 backs once again behind Branham. Branham will hand off to the... Actually, that is not Branham. That is Journey Ivy that's in there. 3, not 13, that has been taking these snaps. So my apologies to him for that. Nevertheless, the run to the 38-yard line goes for no gain.
Another fullback dive right up the middle. It seems Jellico really trying to push their rush attack through the middle. Haven't really bounced anything to the outside thus far on the ground game, and Cumberland Gap's been ready for it each time down in the trenches. Again, we talked about the Panthers have been consistent all season long there on D, and it showed there on second down.
So it'll be third down. Upcoming here for Jellico. They are 0 for 3 on third downs. 2 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. 1 back around the quarterback who's in the gun. He's got 1 back on either side. Cumberland Gap bringing pressure. Quarterback throwing. That one is 13. Throws it up for grabs, and it's going to be... Was that intercepted? Come on. That was intercepted. And Cumberland Gap gets the turnover at about the 11-yard line.
Well, it was surely the best-looking throw of the night so far for Jellico. Just went to the defensive back, that being Holden McDaniels for the interception. Again, what would have been a huge pass completion for Jellico and would have put the Blue Devils into prime position to score. But nonetheless, a nice turnover that was caused by McDaniels, the junior for Cumberland Gap, and the Panthers will take back over. What a pick.
So it'll be a K and came out of first down and 10. Ball's at the 11, almost the 10-yard line of Cumberland Gap. 2:24 left to go here inside of this contest. It's going to be a handoff coming up the middle, over to the far sideline, to the 30, to the 35, to the 40, and finally being taken out from behind. Excuse me, that's a 30. So I lost my way on the field there out to the 32-yard line. And now we have a stoppage. And I believe we have an injury over on the far sideline.
I think it may have been the ball carrier for Cumberland Gap, if I'm not mistaken.
While they will tend to him, let's take a quick break. Cumberland Gap leads this one in the first quarter, 14-0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Back out to Cumberland Gap High School, where with 2:15 left to go here inside of this first quarter, Cumberland Gap will have the ball at the 32-yard line of Cumberland Gap, but we are currently still in an injury timeout at the moment, as the ball carrier still don't know. It's over on the far sideline, and we've not really got a number on that person. But we'll wait and don't want to speculate on anything at that point of what it could be or who it is over on the far sideline. But I will say it was a 22-yard run on that first play after the turnover. And let's go back to that turnover while we're waiting on this injury timeout here. Interception. What a catch. What a catch.
It sure was, and it was nice because Holden McDaniels again assigned to the Jellico receiver, who was beaten initially but was able to have a nice burst while the ball was in the air to get into position to make the play, and he was able to come down with it. You know, a lot of times the defensive backs may get nervous when the ball's in the air sometimes, as you know, they're not, most of the time they're not true receivers, so sometimes those can end up with what may be surefire interceptions that end up as a drop. But this time for McDaniels, who just does happen to play receiver, for Cumberland Gap, was able to snag it in and cause the turnover for Jellico on the very pretty INT.
The injured Panther is being taken over from the far sideline. Looks like they're going to take him straight to the locker room. Still don't know exactly who that was, but nevertheless, they're going to take that player over to the locker room. As we are being told, it is Caleb Edwards, number 1 for Cumberland Gap, the senior, being carried off on the far side.
Obviously a situation you hate to see, especially being a senior for Cumberland Gap here in the latter stages of the season. It was a great run before the end of the play there, as he found a huge hold the offensive line gave him and broke several tackles before he was finally brought down. Hopefully it's not as bad as it initially looks.
So now Cumberland Gap's got to try to put this one behind them. It was a 22-yard run by Edwards. It sets up another K&K Metal first down and 10. Now at the Cumberland Gap 32-yard line. This drive starting after an interception. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the right. Quarterback in the gun, has a back to either side. It's going to be an option play. Quarterback with a nice move. Out to the 35, coming this way to the 40. To the 45, to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, reversing field to the far sideline to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and I believe Brunsma is going to scamper the entire way into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap.
Well, we talked about the nice run from Caleb Edwards the previous play. What an even nicer run from Caleb Brunsma here. He put Logan McGee on skates for Jellico there in the backfield. It seemed he was going to pitch it off again, but ended up providing the fake. Then had a stiff arm a few yards later and, of course, rode the protection of his blockers all the way into a nice cut on the near sideline and went all the way to the end zone. Definitely an emotionally charged touchdown for sure, coming off the Caleb Edwards injury.
That one almost felt like it went in slow motion.
It did. It sure did.
Brunsma just kind of patiently waited around, waited for his blocks, worked his way methodically down the near sideline. Like you said, when he got the cut, he was gone.
One of the best virtues of a ball carrier, patience.
The extra point attempt is down. The extra point is up and is now good. Timeout of the field. 1:51 left to go. First quarter, our new score. It is Cumberland Gap 21. It is Jellico, nothing.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Cumberland Gap scores once again, this time on a two-play drive that goes 90 yards and takes, you're going to have to do the math with me here, 32 seconds off the clock. And right now it has been all Cumberland Gap. They now lead us on 21-zip.
Yeah, well, I mean, how you go 32 seconds with that much field in front of you after the interception, definitely credit to Cumberland Gap's offense after the pick to then go all the way back to the end zone, basically crossing almost the entire length of the field in just two huge run plays, and all of a sudden you're up 3 scores.
I want to correct it. It was 33 seconds on that one. I did not carry the one.
Wow, Adam.
Jellico on the kickoff return, coming to the near sideline to the 20, to the 25, getting a block, and down to the 30-yard line. And it is going to be the worst starting field position for the Blue Devils on the kickoff return by Albertini, but it was inbounds.
And that's just what I was just getting ready to say. That's because the kick from Drew Ramsey stayed inbounds. And as you mentioned, that'll put the Blue Devils into their worst field position of the day. Still not really awful field position. The 31-yard line certainly better than average.
They'll start at their 31 with a K&K Metal, first down and 10. See which person they'll put at quarterback. And it's not going to be Ivy. It will actually be Branham. They've been rotating, I believe. Ivy wears 3, Branham wears 13. So you can see where we mix that up a little bit.
And they have similar builds as well. They look like the same player just about.
On a K&K Metal first down, they'll split one receiver to the left side. Full house backfield to the right. It's going to be a quarterback keep. This is Branham looking, wants to throw. He's got to turn around, turn his body, throws it. It's going to be incomplete. Eventually had to get around on that one. He's a right-handed passer and had the ball kind of behind him. I was waiting for him to try to make that turn, but I was a little afraid for him because Cumberland Gap was on his heels. He gets the pass off, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, I think Jordan King was possibly the intended receiver for the Blue Devils on the far sideline. Again, the receiver is kind of having to adjust to the quarterback's scramble there on the far sideline. Cumberland Gap's pursuit was too much for Branham there. Again, another thing, lining up for quarterback at Jellico, he's a shorter individual there for the Blue Devils, and trying to see over those huge, those mammoth defensive tackles and ends and linebackers for the Panthers has got to be difficult.
Again, receiver off now to the right side. It's going to be a handoff to Albertini going up and over to the left side. He'll get some positive yardage as he'll bring the ball forward to about the 30, let's call it the 34-yard line. A gain of 3, but it's going to bring up third down.
Ivy was the one lining up at quarterback this time for Jellico, and looks like he may stay on the field here for third down. Another run from Albertini and another solid job from Cumberland Gap to stop it before it really got going.
Jellico faced with third down and 7. They're 0 for 4 on third downs here in this opening quarter. Again, Cumberland Gap leads this one 21-0. Ball's on the far hash mark at the Blue Devil 34-yard line. They will split one receiver to the left side. That is Jordan King. Again, full house backfield behind the quarterback who's under the center. It's going to be a handoff coming up the middle to the 35, to the 36. Yeah, the pile still moving forward. Now they'll whistle it dead at about the 38-yard line. And it was, again, Albertini on the run.
Good second effort from Albertini, as it seemed like it was a trio of Cumberland Gap Panthers that had him wrapped up, but he was able to push forward for a few extra yards. Unfortunately for the visitors, still not enough to gain the first down, and that'll cause another punt for the Blue Devils.
4th down, let's call it right at 3 yards to go as we are under 10 seconds now left to go first quarter. The Blue Devils see if they'll kick this one or wait till the second quarter of action. So we're at 3, we're at 2, we're at 1, and we will have to wait. We've played one full quarter here at Cumberland Gap High School. Your score, it is Panthers 21. It is Blue Devils 0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Welcome back to the second quarter of action as we get ready for the second quarter between Cumberland Gap and Jellico on homecoming 2018. Panthers lead this one 21-0, and Jellico's going to go for this. It's going to be a handoff, and it's going to be a flag on the play as half the Blue Devil team went and the other half did not, but they did have Cumberland Gap snoozing on that one and could have got the first down.
They sure did. All the punt return unit for Cumberland Gap was lined up as you would be, several yards back of the offense. But as you said, with a little bit of miscommunication, I don't think that all the Jellico players knew they were going to be going for a run attempt here on 4th down, and that'll back them up, and they'll most surely punt this time around.
I think it was just a matter of them walking into the line going, we got them.
Yeah.
And not relaying it to the offensive line.
Yeah, I think you may be right.
4th down and 9 now for the Blue Devils. And again, they are in the punt formation. We'll get past 2 receivers back just around midfield. Again, 2 punts have already been dribbled. This one's in the air and will be taken. What a dangerous play by one of the Panthers. As he kind of stands in the way and picks it up. It was very dangerous as he could have just touched that one and it been a Jellico ball. Nevertheless, the Panthers will start with a K&K Metal 1st down and 10 at the Panther 46-yard line.
Darren Robinson was the Panther that was able to scoop that punt return up instead of letting it roll. Like you said, if he hadn't corralled that one correctly, he could have stayed Jellico ball as he had a Blue Devil right in front of him. But nonetheless, Cumberland Gap will start this one off with good field position yet again.
2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right, 1 to the right here on this K&K Metal 1st down. Shotgun formation for Brunsma. Hands off up the middle. And getting taken down at about the 49-yard line on the run was Cole.
Noah Albertini for Jellico, who has received most of the carries on offense, gets the stop there on defense. It looks like he's an Iron Man for the Blue Devils, making the stop on Cole, but not before the senior gets about 3 or 4 yards.
2nd down, 7 yards to go. Ball at the 49-yard line of Cumberland Gap. 2 receivers left side, 1 to the right. Again, Brunsma stands in the gun, has it back to either side of him. Jellico may bring heat. Here's the option play. Pitching out to the left side. This is Cole again to the 50, to the 45, to the 40. He's got the edge of the 35 to the 30, and gets taken down by the last person just past the 30 near the 26-yard line.
Well, Jordan King was able to make the stop on Cole on the far sideline, but not before he gets the first down and much, much more. Another blown tackle in the backfield. That's the second time that the quarterback run option has worked successfully for the Panthers. Again, we saw Brunsma keep it and run a long distance into the end zone. This time he gives it up, and Cole gives him another substantial gain.
25 yards on the run sets up the Panthers for a K&K Metal 1st down and 10, this time at the Blue Devil 26-yard line. Panthers going from left to right on your radio dial here in the second quarter. 1 receiver to the right side. Looks like 2 to the left. Now man in motion from the left to the right, handoff up the middle. And getting close to the 25-yard line. I'm not real sure exactly who had that carry, as it was not. Nevertheless, it's going to be just a gain of about 1 to bring up 2nd down.
Logan McGee for Jellico was able to make the stop for the Blue Devils. Again, I'm like you, Adam. It was hard to see in the sea of bodies right there in the middle of the pile who was able to have possession of the football.
2nd down and 9. One receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Brunsma in the gun. Here comes man-to-man press coverage. Brunsma going to keep it himself this time. He's looking for some blockers. He's to the 25, to the 20. It's a foot race to the 15, and he's going to be taken down inside the 15 to about the 14-yard line. Late flag comes onto the field, and that might be near the point of that last block, which will take away from the large gain that Brunsma has. We're going to get a block in the back against Cumberland Gap.
Again, so another costly penalty for Cumberland Gap. Another great move in the backfield. A nice juke from Brunsma to shake the defender and keep him guessing as to whether he was going to keep it or pitch it off to the side. But again, a block in the back from the Panthers negates the big gain, and that'll back them up substantially.
They'll still technically gain a yard after the 10-yard penalty. It'll bring up 2nd down and 8. Ball now on the near hash mark. And Cumberland Gap will split 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. Pistol formation for Brunsma. Brunsma is going to keep it himself, makes the first person miss, pitches it out. What a late pitch out to the far side, out to near the 20-yard line. That was kind of a, I think Pierman ended up with that one.
Maybe Fusen, I believe.
Was it Fusen?
Yeah, I think so. I think it was Fusen, the junior wide receiver. Brunsma looked like a little bit of a magician there, again, with another nice fake and another couple moves in the backfield. And then, as you said, a very late pitch to Fusen for a couple extra yards at the end of the play. So, again, Cumberland Gap's ground game has worked pretty well here tonight on the few runs that they've had.
Well, the down marker says 2nd, so we're going to go with 2nd down. Let's call it right at 5 yards to go. 3 receiver to the right side, 1 to the left. Again, pistol formation for Brunsma. It's going to be a handoff, and Jellico has this one scouted, as that will be a loss back to the 22-yard line.
Keaton, go ahead.
I was going to say it's going to bring up 3rd down.
It was Keaton Jones for Jellico that made the stop in the backfield, coming in untouched, it seemed, to bring down the Cumberland Gap ball carrier. Jones, the junior defensive lineman and linebacker, coming in hot to make the stop.
3rd down upcoming for Cumberland Gap. They are 0 for 1 on 3rd downs. This will just be the 2nd 3rd down they'll have attempted inside this contest as we are in the 2nd quarter, and we have 8:26 in counting left to go until halftime. They're going to split 2 receiver to the right, 1 to the left. Brunsma drops. Rolls off right side, throws it off into the corner, incomplete. Maybe a little bit of miscommunication as the far receiver stopped on that one, and it'll bring up 4th.
Yeah, Holden McDaniel was in the area, as you said, kind of made a little bit of hesitation in the route running there, and Brunsma with the incomplete pass bringing up 4th down. Although this deep into Jellico territory, Coach Klein may stay on the field and go for this one.
He will. It'll be their first 4th down they'll try to convert this evening. It'll be 4th down. Let's call it 6. 1 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right, tight end split to the right. Brunsma in the gun, dropping. Here comes pressure, throws off. It is complete to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. Too easy.
It was. I mean, it was pitch and catch really to Ethan Daniels, a junior wide receiver who had Andrew Buttram of Jellico, the defensive back, who was right with him there at the time of the completion, although he kind of hesitated a little bit once Daniels secured the football, races past the rest of the Jellico secondary, and makes it now a 4-score game in Cumberland Gap's favor on the touchdown pass from Brunsma.
So it'll be Ramsey to attempt the extra point. Snap. Well, Jellico will jump, and now they'll snap the ball. It's the 2nd consecutive PAT that they've tried to do that, and once again, Cumberland Gap will decline the penalty. Outside of one offensive drive, this has really been a domination by Cumberland Gap.
And that was ended in a turnover.
It was a fumble, yeah.
So, absolutely, the offense has been churning tonight.
Snap down, the attempt is up, and the attempt this time is good. Timeout on the field with 2:05 left to go here inside of the first half. Our new score, it is Cumberland Gap 28. It is Jellico nothing.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Here comes Ramsey in motion. Best kick of the night. It's going to be touched and eventually picked up around the 3-yard line. To the 10, to the 15, got some room to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and gets taken down. Ball on the field, but they're going to say he was down as on the run. Well, I saw 58, but that's James Cassidy, a lineman. I don't think that was correct. He was the one that jumped on the ball there late. Nevertheless, Jellico will start with a K&K Metal first down and 10 at their 34-yard line.
Holden McDaniels and Tyler Raines of Cumberland Gap stopped the big gain from getting any bigger on the kickoff return that looked like at first like it was going to be disaster for Jellico after it was touched and bobbled near their own goal line, but nonetheless ends out to be a pretty good return for the Blue Devils.
It'll be first down and 10 for Jellico. Ball, as we said, at their 34-yard line. Only one turnover on the evening for the Blue Devils, but they have had 2 special teams miscues on the punts. Here's one receiver to the left side, one to the right. Man in motion from the left to the right. Fumbled snap, and it's eventually going to be, like I say, the quarterback, Ivy, tried to throw it to his running back, but he had his knee down while he had the ball, and he'll lose too, so I may have had the jinx on that one.
You may have, but again, it was a good idea on the plan B there for Jellico after the snap was bobbled to try and just flick it out to a running back on the far side, but as you said, he was already down before he tried to do so, and that results in the end of the play.
So it'll be second down. Let's call it 12 yards to go. Bells on the near hash mark. Blue Devils going from right to left on your radio dials. It looks like Ivy will be the quarterback for this play. Again, he and Branham have been going back and forth under center here for Jellico. One receiver to the left side. Ivy goes under the center, has one back behind him, has a in to the left side. It's going to be Ivy rolling off to the right side, looking, stops, pumps, comes back to the middle of the field, is going to run it himself, and is eventually going to be taken down for a sack of a loss of 1.
And we've seen that happen a couple of times tonight for Jellico. All that work in the backfield trying to scramble and make something happen, and all for a no gain or a minimal gain or maybe even a loss there as Jellico's Ivy again just trying to make something happen, but eventually ran right into the teeth of the Cumberland Gap defensive line.
Third down, 13 upcoming here for the Blue Devils. They're 0 for 5 on third downs here in this first half. Blue Devils getting the play, making sure they got it all out. Again, it'll be Ivy staying in at quarterback, has a receiver to the left side. Again, it'll be Albertini to the left and one back behind Ivy. Ivy. Hand off to the fullback up the middle to the 35 and eventually being taken down to about the 38-yard line. And on the run that time was Stephen Bird, the junior.
And again with Baird getting the carry for Jellico. May have been his first touch of the night, possibly.
I think he had some in the first quarter.
He may have had one or two in the first quarter. Had been the first touch in a while then, as it had been Albertini for most of the day. But with Albertini kind of lined up as an extra back there, Baird receives the call. But again, not enough for the first down. Again, this rushing game just hasn't clicked for Jellico tonight. The Cumberland Gap defense has been right there most, if not every time. Again, you've seen Jellico hasn't converted a third down yet.
Fourth down, let's call it 7 yards to go. And again, the Blue Devils will be punting. They've struggled a little bit, mostly in the first quarter. High snap this time. Past the 20. It's still on the field, and it'll be Cumberland Gap ball as they'll fight for the fumble back inside the 15 at about the 13-yard line.
Well, make that 3 mistakes on the punts for Jellico tonight, as this one not the result of the punt, but the result of the snap that preceded the attempted punt. And again, with Jellico trying to make something out of nothing and trying to scoop it up at Cumberland Gap. Panther was there first, and CG now takes over once more with 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Again, well into Jellico territory.
Already in the red zone, ball spotted at the Blue Devil 13-yard line. One receiver to the right side. 2 to the left. 2 backs in the backfield with Brunsma. Hands off, up the middle. Stutter step. Coming out to the near sideline and back to the middle to the 10. And throwing the football forward to the 6-yard line.
Miracle, I believe.
Was it
Logan Miracle?
Logan Miracle.
Yep. We saw, or rather said his name plenty of times 2 weeks ago against Pineville, that being Miracle, the junior running back. Showed the football a little bit there late towards the end of the play. Could have been capitalized on by Jellico, but again, not before he hit the turf first. And again, that was a tough run there, going through the teeth of the defense and picking up about, 6 yards?
Could be second down and 3.
7 yards then.
Ball resting at the 6-yard line. One receiver to the left side. They'll go 1 to the right. Make it now 2 to the right. Shotgun formation. Brunsma pitches out to the left side. Getting to the goal line and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap. Miles Cole this time off the left side.
The trusty option pitch play for Cumberland Gap results in more success for Coach Klein and the Panthers. Again, not much resistance there on the far side for Jellico, and Cole gladly runs in for the TD for CG. And now the lead has quickly been raced now up to 5 scores for the hometown Panthers on homecoming.
It will be, I believe this is Fusen to have the hold. Ramsey will have the attempt. Snap is down. The attempt by Ramsey is up. The attempt by Ramsey is good. Time out of the field. 4:06 left to go. First half. Our new score. It is Cumberland Gap 35. It is Jellico nothing.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Back out to Cumberland Gap High School. That last scoring drive for Cumberland Gap. 2 plays, 13 yards, 57 seconds off the clock. Started with the snap over the head of the Jellico punter. And right now it's been all Panthers here on homecoming as they now lead this one 35-0.
Yeah, absolutely. This first half has gone just the way that Cumberland Gap had hoped, especially coming off the lopsided loss to Wartburg a week ago. They've been able to pounce on Jellico from the get-go and capitalize on the Blue Devils' mistakes. You know, it's one thing to force those mistakes, but it's another thing to capitalize on them, and that's just what the Gap's done tonight.
Ramsey kicks this one deep, and it's going to bounce off the Blue Devil helmet and pick it up at the 10-yard line. And then getting destroyed at about the 18-yard line is the Blue Devils, and they'll start there with a K&K Metal first down and 10.
Almost another disaster for Jellico on a kickoff return. Again, hit the helmet of the returnee. That was, again, as you said, blasted by a couple of Cumberland Gap defenders. Jellico now takes over, trying to find some kind of answer on offense, now trailing by 5 scores.
So it'll be first down and 10 for the Blue Devils at their 18-yard line. Don't want to say you got to get out of your comfort zone here on offense, but you kind of want to throw the ball maybe a little bit here to try to make something happen.
Yeah, I think especially at this point in the game, you've got to gather into uncharted territory, if you will, on the playbook.
I believe they've still only had 1 first down, and that was by penalty on the opening drive.
Yep.
We'll check that in a minute. 1 receiver to the left side. Quarterback goes under the center. Man in motion from the right to the left. It's going to be a pitch out to that man in motion, trying to come this way. Cumberland Gap has got it completely surrounded, and the running back will go down at the 11-yard line.
I had mentioned several plays ago for Jellico that the Blue Devils hadn't really tried to bounce a run out to the outside, had not really tried to rely on some blocking from wide receivers. That time they did try and bounce it off to the side, the left side specifically. But again, Cumberland Gap's defense was there. They were ready for it, so credit to the Panthers D for stopping a run short once again.
Second down, 18 now for the Blue Devils. Ball back at the Jellico 11-yard line. Got to think if you're Jellico, you want to obviously get the first down here, but you also want to get your punter out of the end zone with the problems they've been having here on special teams.
Yes.
2 receiver to the left side, 2 to the right. Quarterback is in the shotgun with a back to the right side. Dropping Ivy, throwing the screen pass. It is complete, and it is going to be for no gain as Albertini caught the pass. It gets back to the 11.
And as you see, Journey Ivy all the way backed up against his own end zone, comes up hobbling a little bit at the end of the play. I saw that Tyler Raines was once again there for Cumberland Gap on defense. He's been everywhere tonight in the backfield. Another Cumberland Gap Panther was there to hit Ivy just as the throw was released. But again, almost kind of like an incomplete pass anyway, since it results for no gain.
Third down and 18 yards to go for Jellico. 0 for 6 on third downs here so far. Ball's over, actually right about in the middle of the field. As they go from right to left with 2:15 and counting left to go here inside of the first half. 2 receivers to the left side. They'll split 2 to the right. Quarterback looks to be Branham, has it back to his right side. That will be Albertini. This is actually Ivy. Throws, it's going to be intercepted to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap off the pick.
Darren Robertson for CG, a senior offensive lineman and linebacker who was gladly saw the ball fall right into his breadbasket and was able to see little to no resistance on the return, on the short return to get all the way into the end zone. You love to see a good defensive touchdown for the Gap, and of course Robertson, I should say, will gladly take that one on the INT return for a touchdown, and the lead goes up even further.
So the pick 6 from 20 yards out. Here's the extra point snap down. The attempt is up, but the attempt is good. Time out on the field. Let's take this one as well. 1:51 left to go first half. Our new score. It is Cumberland Gap 42. It is Jellico 0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
So we got 1:51 left to go until halftime, and right now the Panthers are just running away with this one. That last pick 6 makes it 42-0 in favor of Cumberland Gap. They scored twice off special teams, now once on defense. As here is a squib kick that's got to be picked up and does so now by Jellico, actually just fallen upon. At about this is called the 24-yard line. The Blue Devils will start with a Kane Cometto first down and 10 there.
Yeah, Cumberland Gap has been able to put these 6 touchdowns on the board. As you said, 3 of them were not on the offensive side of the field, 2 on special teams, and 1 defensive touchdown. And when the Panthers have had the ball on offense, minus that 1 fumble, they've been very efficient as well. So definitely coming off of a loss, Cumberland Gap's been here to play tonight. There has been no signs of rust for the Panthers, no signs of being down. The body language has been good for Coach Klein and the Panthers tonight, and it's resulted in this huge lead over Jellico.
Ball's on the far hash mark. Again, as they go from right to left on your radio dial, they being Jellico. They'll get the play call in. And it'll be first down and 10 at their 24-yard line. 1 receiver to the left side. Quarterback goes under the center with 3 backs behind him. It's going to be a handoff. This is Albertini off the far sideline, and Albertini will be stopped for no gain.
It seems once again Jellico just unable to find a hole to run through. The offensive line struggling tonight for the Blue Devils. Again, Cumberland Gap's defense has been there. The speed has been too much, and the power as well has been there for the Panthers. Results in a short gain again for the visitors.
2 yards on the run, sets up second down and 8. We have went under 90 seconds left to go here inside of the first half. Both teams do have all 3 timeouts. And it's second down and 8. 1 receiver to the left side. Again, full house backfield in the back for the quarterback who's went under the center. It's going to be a handoff once again, trying to come to the near sideline and bring the ball out to about the 27-yard line.
I think it may have been Brady Pearman was the first Cumberland Gap Panther.
We've got a player down
to make first contact. It was a very dangerous situation you mentioned with a shaken up player. So a pile of bodies there, right there where the run started off.
I believe Albertini was the one that had the run. And it'll bring up third down upcoming as the training staff from Jellico goes out to tend to the injured Blue Devil. Again, we think that maybe Albertini. We're not sure, and I'm not going to speculate here, as we typically do not with those. We remind you at halftime, we will go over some scores from around East Tennessee. Again, Claiborne's got the night off. Middlesboro, on the other side of the tunnel, has the night off as well. Pineville will travel to undefeated Lynn Camp. Lynn Camp, the last unbeaten in Class 1A in the state of Kentucky, I should say, and the number 8 in the latest AP poll there in Class 1A.
They've been a very pleasant surprise this season as well. Lynn Camp, again, as being an undefeated record. Speaking of undefeated teams in Kentucky, Bell County also in action tonight. The Bobcats have been very, very impressive on the season tonight, playing Clay County.
They can't look ahead.
Sure.
They got to take care of Clay County tonight. They've got Corbin on the road next week. That'll be more than likely the game that decides who walks away with the regional championship, at least for the regular season, and who will have home field when they get to the playoffs, when they more than likely will meet again.
And you look at the recent history that favors Corbin. You know, the Red Hounds had Bell County's number a year ago, so that one, as well as if Bell County takes care of business like they intend to do tonight against Clay County, then that one next weekend against Corbin could be a showdown between the Bobcats and the Red Hounds.
And it is number 22, Noah Albertini, who is walking over, I think, under his own power.
Gingerly a little bit, but still, like you said, under his own power.
Just got an update. Chucky Doak is defeating Granger tonight, 46-0. That's a halftime score.
Wow.
Chucky Doak, who Claiborne has next week. That'll be on the road at the Black Hole. We are actually off next week as Claiborne is at Chucky Doak. Cumberland Gap will be at Cosby. We will have LMU homecoming, all those festivities all weekend, so there'll be no Old Town Grille game next week. Third down upcoming for the Blue Devils out of the injury timeout. Third down and 7. 1 receiver to the left side. Full house backfield for the quarterback. It'll be a misdirection coming to the near sideline, past the 30, and getting out to about the 31-yard line. And once again, it will bring up fourth down for the Blue Devils.
Again, the Panthers haven't allowed Jellico to convert any third downs here tonight. And the case will remain the same on the short run. as the clock begins to tick down here in the second half, or in the second quarter, first half.
I think Cumberland Gap may just let this one roll. More than likely, yep, there it is. That is the first half buzzer. We played a half here at Cumberland Gap High School. It is homecoming 2018, and it's all Panthers right now. As right now they are leading the Jellico Blue Devils by the score of 42-0. Folks, stay tuned. Halftime festivities when we return with your Old Town Grille High School Game of the Week.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
We get the whistle. And the Blue Devils will kick us off for the first time this evening. Onside kick. That will eventually roll out of bounds over on the far sideline near the 43-yard line. I believe that's the fourth kick out of bounds we've seen here this evening.
But the first against Jellico.
First against Jellico. And the Blue Devils will give the Panthers possession, because it's past the 40, or before the 40, if you will. The Panthers will have it at their 43-yard line, and that's where they'll start with a K&K Metal first down and 10. Clock is rolling. Actually, it'll be a 5-yard penalty on top of that, so it'll be at the 48-yard line. Wait and see. I believe we'll have a backup quarterback in here, and that looks to be Lance Owens, number 10 on your roster if you have one at home. He is the freshman.
Valuable experience, some minutes gained here by Owens, the freshman QB, that Coach Klein, again, with a 6-touchdown lead in the running clock. You got to get those young players in there, get them some reps.
It'll be a K&K Metal first down and 10 at the Cumberland Gap 48-yard line. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. Pistol formation for Owens. Man in motion from the left to the right. Hands off to that man in motion to the 50. And past the 50 into Jellico territory to the 48-yard line.
Nice run there for Cumberland Gap on first down to open up the drive. We suspect that Cumberland Gap may just keep the ball on the ground here for the majority of the second half. Although with the new quarterback in there, you kind of question if Owens may have some short passes to his credit here in the second half. We'll see how the Panthers' drive develops.
And we apologize. We are trying to catch these numbers of the young players that are going through. Here it will be second down and 6. One receiver to either side. Again, your backup is Owens. He's in the game. He's going to hand off up the middle to the 50, to the 45, out to about the 43-yard line. We're going to bring up third down, as on that run, I believe that is 44, Tyler Mays.
Another first-time name that we have called this evening, Mays, who is a sophomore running back for Cumberland Gap, puts the Panthers in a third down and short. You don't mind having the third down when there's only a yard or less to go until you reach the sticks. So a nice run from the sophomore.
Cumberland Gap was 0 for 2 on third downs in the first half. This will be third down and 1, ball on the far hash mark at the Jellico 43-yard line. One receiver to the left side, one to the right. Owens has a wing on either side of the line and a back behind him as he stands in the pistol. Man in motion, high snap. Owens picks up off one bounce, running backwards, makes the first person miss, makes the second person miss, makes the third person miss. He's still on his feet to the 50, and eventually gets taken down at about the 45-yard line. He got 15 after he picked the ball up, but will eventually go down for what will be in the books as a loss of 2. And that'll bring up 4th down.
That's been a pretty persistent theme here tonight, not only with the Gap, but with Jellico as well, and having plays that really are bizarre with maybe a mistimed snap or a miscommunication in the backfield that ends up being a very long, drawn-out run, but the result is either no gain or even negative yardage.
We actually have a flag back at the 39-yard line. And that's going to be a block in the back against Cumberland Gap, so you'll really just negate the play. The block in the back occurred at the 39. They'll mark the ball off from there, and this is going to be a large penalty.
Yes, it is. You know, the Panthers had a few penalties to start the first quarter of action after having just flag after flag after flag a couple of weeks ago against Pineville, but for the most part, they've cleaned that up tonight here.
This will be 3rd down, and let's call it 29 yards to go. 1 receiver to the left side, 1 to the right. Again, Owens in at quarterback in the pistol. Owens going to drop. He's going to have an opportunity to throw here. Rolls off to the right side, breaks the first tackle, breaks the second, trying to reverse field, does so now. And he's still on his feet, making people miss. He gets out past the 30 to about the 31-yard line. He'll pick up a few, but it will bring up 4th down.
Yeah, once again, kind of that same story. Again, having to not very much to work with there in the backfield with several Blue Devil players swarming him, that being Owens. He's able to get just past the line of scrimmage, but the Panthers will have to punt after the unsuccessful 3rd down conversion attempt.
First time this evening that Cumberland Gap will be punting.
Interesting that we stand about 7 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter, and neither side has converted a 3rd down tonight.
You're right.
Yep.
You're absolutely right. 4th down and long. And Cumberland Gap back to punt. Snap's a good one. Punt, end over end, turns into a spiral, and it will take a bounce at the 37, or excuse me, at the 43. It will bounce farther inside to about the 34-yard line, and that's where the Blue Devils will start with 6:43 in counting here inside of this 3rd quarter. Again, Cumberland Gap leading this one 42-0. Scoring 2 on special teams, 1 on defense, and that would leave 3 more on offense. And it'll be Jellico's ball. 1st down, it's going to be a K&K Metal 1st down at their 33-yard line.
And so for the Blue Devils, again, just hoping for some positivity here on the first drive of this 3rd quarter. You'd like to see that for Coach Massengale and Jellico to try and get some offensive production here in the 3rd.
Ball's on the far hash mark. 3 receivers split to the right side, 1 to the left. Quarterback in the gun has a back to his right side. Quarterback throwing off. It is complete. Nope, incomplete. That one is incomplete. Pass was intended by Branham as he tried to get it to King. And like I said, it will fall incomplete.
King was met immediately as he tried to corral the football by junior linebacker Logan Miracle for Cumberland Gap. We say his name often on the offensive side of the ball. Again, close to maybe a completion and then a fumble, although the receiver there for Jellico didn't have possession of the ball long enough to determine a turnover, so instead it will go down just as an incomplete pass.
So it'll be 2nd down. 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Blue Devil 33-yard line. 2 receivers off to either side. Shotgun formation again for the Blue Devils with a back to the right side. Quarterback going to roll off right side using the block. Running for his life. Stops and avoids the sack. Still on his feet. Goes to the far side. Gets a good block. He's to the 30. 35 to the 40. Still got some speed to the 45 to the 50. And eventually gets rounded down and thrown down over on the far sideline. That'll move the chains on the big scramble by Branham into Cumberland Gap territory to the 48-yard line.
I believe it was Nathan Fusen who finally stopped Branham after he reverses his field entirely. Broke a couple of Cumberland Gap defensive linemen. It seemed that Cody Mabes, a sophomore for Cumberland Gap, may have gotten a piece of Branham, maybe would have had enough to bring him down, but again, to no avail, and Branham moves the chains.
This will be a K&K Metal 1st down and 10. Now at the Cumberland Gap, it's called 48-yard line. 4 wide, 2 to either side. Bobbled snap. Running back actually comes away with it. He's to the 50. Near sideline. Ball's on the ground. And Jellico will actually, nope, the ball's still, now it's going to squirt out of bounds, which I believe by rule would put it back to where the ball was fumbled. See if where they'll mark this one, as neither team had possession.
I think they're going to mark it where it went out of bounds.
They're going to mark it where it went out of bounds.
Yeah.
which is huge for Jellico because the ball eventually goes out.
Moves the chains.
At the 37-yard line.
Yep.
An 11-yard fumble gain.
How about that? It's not often that you see that happen. It's funny that Jellico is an interesting development here, that they had one first down in the first half. That was because of a penalty.
Yep.
Now with back-to-back first downs here in the third quarter off the huge run, and now the fumble that actually worked into the Blue Devils' favor.
So it'll be another K&K Metal first down and 10. Ball at the Cumberland Gap 37-yard line. One receiver to the left side. Full house backfield behind the quarterback, Branham. He's going to hand off, going to the far sideline. The big man, that's number 54, who is...
I think it was 64, actually.
64, okay, 64, right. Which is Jacob Ellard.
Ellard, listed as a junior offensive lineman and defensive lineman who carries the ball there.
Gets one.
Yeah, sure. He's a big, very tough ball carrier to bring down, if you will. It took several Cumberland Gap defenders there to bring him to the turf. Goes for a 1-yard gain.
Second down and 9. Clock still running here as we are approaching 2.5 minutes left to go third quarter. Again, Cumberland Gap leads this one 42-0, looking to improve to 4-3 on the season. On second down, one receiver to the left side, two to the right. Shotgun. Quarterback rolls off to the right side, looking, throws off into the flat, and it's complete out to the 20. It's called to the 28-yard line. Gets it off into the hands of Ivy. So call that quarterback to quarterback.
Yeah, that's right. As you mentioned, Ivy had been splitting quarterback duties up with Branham tonight. Gets a reception there with Miles Cole defending, and that makes it third down and short. Obviously, most likely fourth down territory here for Jellico if they don't get this one.
Jellico is 0 for 8 on third downs here in this contest. And it'll be third down, let's call it 2 yards to go. One receiver to the left side. They're going to split one to the right. Shotgun formation. Dropping. Looking. Wants to roll up. Feels the pressure. Avoids it. Rolls off to the left side. Pumps. Throws. Incomplete. Tried to get it off to Buttram, but could not do so. And Jellico will be faced with fourth down.
Almost intercepted by Cumberland Gap's Kenny Vaughn, a sophomore defensive back. It seemed that Branham got rid of that football just as he was about to cross the line of scrimmage there, as, like you said, tried to squeeze that into a very tight window, but Vaughn was able to come away with the swat and the incomplete pass, and now with fourth down and short, we'll see if the Blue Devils try and go for this one.
I would go for this one. This is by far the best field position they have had this evening.
No doubt.
It'll be fourth down. Let's call it short 3 yards to go. One receiver to the left side. Full house backfield for the Blue Devils. Quarterback under the center. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback, and Cumberland Gap's got that one stretched out. And the Panthers will take over on downs at the 32-yard line after a loss of 3.
Seems that the ball may have come out late for Jellico. Obviously, it didn't matter with it being fourth down anyways. Cumberland Gap was going to come away with the football regardless of who maintained possession of that fumble. And again, a nice defensive stand for the Panthers. Second and third stringers here on defense to stop the Jellico drive in its tracks.
The clock will continue to run and should take us to the fourth. Clock runs. We're at 3, 2, and 1. And with that being said, we've played 3 quarters of action here at Panther Field. Homecoming 2018 going the way of Cumberland Gap. They right now lead Jellico as we enter into the fourth by the score of 42-0.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. the perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
Back out to Panther Field. First down upcoming here for Cumberland Gap as we start the fourth quarter of action. Panthers lead the Blue Devils 42-0 on a K&K middle. First down and 10. Two receivers to the left side. One to the right. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be on a misdirection handoff going to the far sideline. Out near the 35, 36-yard line. Go the Panthers. And I'll bring up second down.
Again with a misdirection play, trying to switch things around for Cumberland Gap here on the first play of the fourth quarter with some Panthers moving around in the backfield on the far sideline and opening up the playbook here a little bit in the fourth.
They'll call it 3 yards on the run. It'll bring up second down. Interesting you brought up that stat. I hadn't thought about that in that last quarter. Now we're in the fourth.
Yep.
Neither team has converted a third down.
That's right.
Second down and 7. One receiver to the right side. One to the left. Quarterback will be in the pistol. Man in motion from the right to the left. Handoff going up the middle. Jellico all over that one. Running back is pushed back to the 33-yard line to bring up third down.
Good job by the Jellico defensive line to stop that run right in its tracks as soon as they crossed into the trenches there. And Jellico's defense holding strong here on this first drive of the final quarter.
That was -2 on the run by Mays. And the Panthers now again faced with another third down. 0 for 3 on third downs here in this contest.
What is it, 0 for 12 combined?
Yes.
Look at me.
Doing math. Third down and 8. One receiver to the left side, again one to the right. Pistol formation. Jellico bringing the safeties up on the receivers. Quarterback's got to run it himself this time, and he's going to get sacked. Quarterback taken down for a sack. Back at about the 20, wow, they're going to call that back to the 23-yard line for a loss of 10.
Zach Albertini was the first Jellico defender to make contact, so the senior will be credited with the sack and face Cumberland Gap with 4th and long. Panthers will have no choice here but to punt this one away and give the football back to the visitors.
Ball to 23-yard line, 4th down, 19. So Cumberland Gap forced to punt here. Second punt of the contest. Both of these coming in the second half after they were already up 42-0. Snap down. Beautiful kick. Spiral taken at the 45-yard line. And breaking the first tackle, but not the second one. And Jellico will have the ball after the short return by Hunter Ward. He'll actually lose a few yards back to the 43-yard line, and that's where the Blue Devils will start with a K&K middle first down.
Yeah, Ward, the senior wide receiver and defensive back, was sort of like a spin cycle there on the punt return, trying to make something happen, but the Cumberland Gap special teams coverage wouldn't allow it. And now with Jellico again with good field position here after the nice sack on third down the previous drive. We'll see if they can try and get some offensive momentum here in the final moments of this fourth quarter.
Under 9 minutes left to go here inside of the fourth. Again, Cumberland Gap leading 42-0, trying to secure their second defensive shutout on the season. Ball's on the near hash mark. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the right. Shotgun formation, I believe that is Branham in the backfield, has a back to his left side. Since a man in motion is Buttram from the left to the right. It is Branham. He's going to drop, he's going to roll this time. He's to the 40, up the middle, takes a hit. And I thought he dropped the ball, but he'll go out to the 47-yard line on the scramble.
When you talk about the Cumberland Gap defense, how this has the possibility to be the Panthers' second shutout victory of the season, that season opening win at Union County, in which they only allowed 13 points to the Patriots, that win looks really good right at this time of the season, as the Patriots have been spectacular this season.
Patriots having season of a lifetime. They've not been this good since 1994. They're playing a tough team tonight. They're at Elizabethton. But
nearly picked up their 4th win in a row last week before dropping a close one to Sullivan South.
Late in that game. Second down, 5 yards to go. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. Branham in the pistol. Man in motion now from the left to the right. It's going to be a handoff to that man in motion. Breaks the first tackle to the 45. Going out near midfield to the 50 and eventually being run out of bounds past the marker, as on the run was Jordan King.
Jordan King gives the Blue Devils another first down for Jellico. Again, kind of like a sweep there to the far sideline for the Blue Devils to move the chains on the sideline. Good run there to move the sticks and get another first down.
6 yards on the run. Sets up another K Metal first down and 10, this time at the Panther 47-yard line as the dew has hit the field. Can't see this on television or on radio at this point, but pretty much from the 20-yard line in the south end zone down, still has the wet residue on it. 2 receivers off to either side, shotgun formation. It's going to be a reverse. It's actually going to be taken by the receiver, coming back to the near sideline, trying to find a hole, and eventually just gets taken down in the backfield, back to the 43-yard line. As on the carry this time was Ethan Davenport.
There's a very nice tackle from Cumberland Gap. I believe that, yes, it is, number 16, Ethan Daniels, the junior defensive back who raced into the backfield like he was shot out of a cannon there. Again, Jellico going with some trickery, just getting that handoff away before Branham was met by a Cumberland Gap defender, but a nice tackle. Good stop from Daniels.
A loss of 10 sets up second down and 20. Ball back in Jellico territory as we are under 6 minutes left to go in this contest. 1 receiver to the left side. Now they're actually going to split 3 to the left side, 1 to the right. Quarterback in the gun has a back to his right. Quarterback drops, looks, feels pressure, steps up, got some room. Going to roll off, looking, jump pass. It is going to be intercepted. Going over to the far sideline of the 45, trying to find a wall of blockers to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35, to the 30, to the 25, reversing field back to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Cumberland Gap on the interception. Lance Owens, the quarterback.
The backup quarterback gets the interception and has the long return into the end zone for 6 more Cumberland Gap points. It was nearly Jared Peters of Cumberland Gap, the junior offensive lineman and linebacker, that came away with the pick, although because of that tip drill, it fell right into the hands of Owens, and he will gladly take it, reverse the field, and get right around the Jellico offense and go to the end zone.
So the interception goes 52 yards, and we will wait as we have an injured Blue Devil on the near sideline, and they will tend to him before we go into the extra point. Clock stops on a touchdown. Yeah, but hey, it ran off. So as they tend to the injured Blue Devil, that is the quarterback for Jellico, Bryson Branham. He will actually run off to his far sideline. And Cumberland Gap will now set up for the extra point.
What a way to cap off this victory for Cumberland Gap on the interception return from the backup QB / linebacker.
So Cumberland Gap still working the special teams over. The clock is still running as we're at 4:15 and counting. Thought that one stopped on a touchdown, but the clock official on the field did not hit the button. So Cumberland Gap is going to roll about another minute off the clock here, trying to get the special teams unit on to kick the extra point. They're going to go for 2. 1 receiver to the right side, 1 to the left. Panthers will go for 2 here. Pistol formation. Handoff up the middle, and it will be no good. So the score will stay at 48-0 in favor of the Panthers. As the clock still runs, we will hold it here as we're under 3:30 and counting left to go here in this contest, and usually you have about a minute in between the extra point and the kickoff. That'd put us near 2:15 on the clock or so. We may get a kickoff and 1 offensive play and get the head of the house.
Yeah, maybe that way. Again, Cumberland Gap now with a 48-0 lead over Jellico. We were going through some of the records as I see you're kind of shuffling through now.
The 48-point margin of victory, if this holds, will be the 3rd largest margin of victory at Cumberland Gap High School. Ever, yeah. Only behind a victory of 54 points over South Korean in 2012 and a 54-point victory over Thomas Walker in 2005. And the 48 points would be the 4th largest margin of victory in school history. They beat North Green by 62 at North Green back in 2008. And we're looking back through it. Don't know if this one's verified or not. This will be something we'll have to research over the weekend. But I believe this will be the first season Cumberland Gap will have 2 defensive shutouts in the same season, which will be.
And we covered the first one when they played Hancock. When we played Hancock County and didn't allow the Indians to cross the 50-yard line throughout that entire contest.
This will be an onside kick, eventually fallen on by Jellico at the 31-yard line. And the Blue Devils will start with a K&K Metal first down and 10 with, let's call it 2 minutes left to go here inside of this contest. Cumberland Gap will improve to 4-3 on the season. Jellico will fall to 1-6. Cumberland Gap next week on the road at Cosby. Jellico goes home to finish off their season on the next 3. The bad news is you got 5-1 Cloudland coming to your place next week. So we've got a few offensive plays here, and we will call this one as we're under 90 seconds left to go. Jellico on a K&K Metal first down and 10. Sends one receiver to the left side. And it'll be quarterback under the center. Hands off up the middle. And going down about the 32-yard line. On the run this time is Stephen Bird.
Again, nice run defensive effort from Cumberland Gap to stop the rush before it began. That's been the real winner of this contest for the Panthers has been the defense and the special teams that has brought CG to this 48-point margin of victory.
Under a minute left to go. Approaching 45 seconds and now counting. Ball's on the near hash mark at the 32-yard line. More than likely should be the final play of the game, I would suppose, as we're at 35 and counting. They're going to split 3 receivers to the right side. Nope, 2 to each side. 1 runs off to the sideline. Rolling off to the right side is the quarterback. Got a nice block, still looking, and it's going to get sacked. The quarterback, Branham, goes down for a sack. And what should be the final play of the game is we're under 20 seconds left to go.
Give Cade Rogers the credit for the sack, the sophomore linebacker, and that should seal it for the Panthers.
We will watch the clock expire from 3 to 2 to 1, and off in the distance, you'll hear a horn. And Cumberland Gap has defeated Jellico this evening on homecoming 2018. They will improve to 4-3 on the season as they knock off Jellico this evening by the final score of Cumberland Gap 48, Jellico nothing. Folks, stay tuned. Our wrap-up in our Old Town Grille Game of the Week, our post-game show coming up next here on the LMU Sports Network.
Make K&K Metal Sales your only stop for all your residential and commercial metal building needs. For the past 23 years, K&K Metal Sales has covered the tri-state area with quality custom roofing and siding with many grades, gauges, and colors in stock. If you're looking for complete steel or wood building packages or steel or wood trusses, K&K Metal Sales can help with that, as well as heavy-duty custom carports. Great folks and great prices. Stop by K&K Metal Sales located at 6986 Cumberland Gap Parkway or call 423-869-4261.
It's the Old Town Grille.
The Old Town Grille is a special place where you bring more than family, more than friends. Bring a hearty appetite, because at the Old Town Grille, you'll never walk away hungry. A delicious change from the ordinary. The perfect place to bring the entire family. The best food and plenty of it. Join the fun and treat your appetite to something special.
It's the OTG.
The OTG is the place to be.
It's a final here from Cumberland Gap High School tonight. The Panthers defeat the Blue Devils by the final score of 48-0, winning on homecoming 2018. Join us again in 2 weeks when we take a week off and get ready for the Battle of the River as the two county teams come together once again for their rivalry matchup as it'll be Cumberland Gap at Claiborne for our next Old Town Grille Game of the Week. Again, the Gap defeats Jellico tonight 48-0. For everyone behind the scenes of the Old Town Grille High School Game of the Week, we'll see you then.